The Young and the Restless Spoilers. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful day outside, but honestly, my brain is completely fried after what we just witnessed on our screens. Grab a huge cup of coffee and get comfortable because we need to unpack this absolute madness. I cannot believe they just did that. I am literally sitting here at 2 a.m. typing furiously into the void because my jaw is still permanently attached to the floor and I need to get this out of my system before I explode. I mean, are we seriously doing this right now? Are the writers actually going there? I have been watching this show for years, literally since I was a teenager, and I have seen some wild, off the wall, completely unhinged storylines. But this, this takes the absolute cake. I am half celebrating because the drama is going to be incredibly juicy, and half complaining because they are messing with decades of Abbott history. And I know some people are loving this twist, but personally, I am just in a state of pure, unadulterated shock. Let's just jump right into it because I can't even hold it in anymore. Kyle Abbott, Patty Williams, the prison scene. I'm sorry, but what on earth just happened? We all knew Kyle was getting desperate. We knew he was running around Genoa City trying to figure out what happened to Diane, completely oblivious to the fact that she's currently rotting in a padded cell thanks to Patty and that creepy doctor, Markham. But for Kyle to suddenly show up at the prison to confront Patty, that alone had me screaming at the TV. Like, Kyle, honey, what are you doing? This woman is a certified psychopath who just kidnapped Abby and baby Dominic, and she is currently blackmailing your father for sex. She is dangerous. But Kyle just marches in there, wearing his perfectly tailored little jabot suit, looking like he's about to demand a quarterly earnings report, clearly thinking he has some sort of upper hand or secret information. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, back to the point. So Kyle is sitting there in the visitor's room. The lighting is all cold and bleak. And then they bring Patty in. You guys, Stacy Hyduck is just, she is giving a master class in crazy. Patty walks in, and she doesn't have that smug, chaotic, villainous smirk she usually has when she's tormenting Jack. No, she looks at Kyle, and her eyes just well up with tears. Real, genuine, emotional tears. And before Kyle can even start interrogating her about Diane's whereabouts, Patty just shatters his entire reality with one sentence. My son, I am your biological mother. I literally screamed out loud. I woke up my dog. I probably woke up my neighbors. I mean, what? Patty Williams is claiming to be Kyle Abbott's mother? Am I the only one who feels like they just got hit by a freight train? And the way she said it, it wasn't a threat. It wasn't a taunt. She said it with this desperate, agonizing love, like a mother who has been separated from her child for decades. It was so chillingly sincere that for a split second, I actually believed her. And that is the most terrifying part of this whole thing. And Kyle's reaction, oh my God, give Michael Mealer an Emmy right now, because the absolute paralysis on his face was perfection. He just stood there, frozen, looking like his brain was short-circuiting. You could see every single thought crashing into each other behind his eyes. Because how could this be possible? Diane is his mother. Diane carried him. Diane raised him, well, when she wasn't pretending to be dead, but you know what I mean. Kyle has built his entire identity around being the son of Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins. He has fiercely defended Diane against everyone, against Phyllis, against Nikki, against the entire town. And now this woman, this literal lunatic who has terrorized his family for years, is standing there crying and calling him her son. But it gets worse, because Kyle, of course, tries to deny it. He stammers out something like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And Patty doesn't even blink. She just looks at him with this tragic, pitiful expression and drops the next bomb. She tells him the DNA results are clear. The DNA results. Since when did Patty have access to Kyle's DNA? Did she steal a coffee cup? Did Dr. Markham run some shady blood tests while nobody was looking? I don't know, but Patty is so confident. She is staring Kyle dead in the eye and telling him that science proves it. And you know what they say on soap operas: if someone mentions a DNA test, you better believe those results are going to be manipulated, hidden, or completely life-ruining. So then Patty goes in for the kill. She tells Kyle that Jack and Diane have been lying to him That is the moment that truly broke me. Because think about it. Would Jack lie about this? Jack Abbott, the man who prides himself on family, the man who has fought so hard for Kyle's love and respect, I kind of don't want to believe Jack would ever do something so monstrous as keeping Kyle from his real mother, even if his real mother is Patty Williams. But Diane? Oh, I 100% believe Diane would do this. Let's just take a trip down memory lane for a second, because we need to talk about Diane Jenkins and her history of absolute lies and manipulation. Remember when Diane stole Victor's sperm from the fertility clinic? Remember how Nikki swapped the samples so Diane actually ended up getting pregnant with Jack's baby instead of Victor's? That whole storyline was a circus of stolen bodily fluids and illegal medical procedures. So is it really that much of a stretch to think that something else happened? Is it possible that Patty Williams was somehow involved? Did Patty's eggs get used? Did Diane steal a baby? I mean, Diane faked her own death and let Kyle mourn her for years. She is capable of anything. If Patty is telling the truth, and Diane has known all along that Kyle isn't hers, it would be the ultimate betrayal. And if Jack knew, oh man, if Jack Abbott knew that Patty was Kyle's mother and he let Diane claim him, that destroys Jack's entire moral compass. Jack has been parading around Genoa City acting like he's a saint, judging Victor for his secrets, judging Phyllis for her crimes. But if he stole a baby from Patty, or if he paid off a doctor to hide the truth, that would explain why Patty is so obsessed with him. It would explain why she has this deep, violent, unhinged connection to the Abbott family. It wouldn't just be about a failed romance on a yacht. It would be about a stolen child. But wait, let's look at the other side of this, because sometimes I contradict myself when I get this worked up. What if Patty is just completely 100% delusional? We are talking about Patty Williams. Remember when she thought a stuffed cat was a real pet? Remember when she got plastic surgery to look exactly like Emily Peterson so she could steal Jack's life? Patty's grip on reality is basically non-existent. She could have easily forged a DNA test in her own mind. She might have convinced herself that Kyle is hers because she is so desperately obsessed with Jack that she wants to insert herself into his legacy. She wants to be the mother of Jack's golden boy. And honestly, a delusional Patty is almost more dangerous than a truthful Patty, because a delusional Patty will kill to protect a fantasy. I'm sorry, but I just can't get over Kyle's face in that scene. The poor guy is already dealing with so much. His mother is missing. His grandfather's company is in chaos. His dad is acting super weird because Hello, Jack is being blackmailed for sex by the very woman standing in front of Kyle. And now this, Kyle is standing in that prison visiting room, and you can literally see the foundation of his entire life cracking. If Diane isn't his mother, who is he? If Patty Williams, the woman who poisoned Summer, the woman who shot Jack, the woman who kidnapped Abby, is his biological mother, what does that mean for his own sanity? Does he have her crazy genes? Is he going to snap? And think about the timing of all this. Patty is currently running a massive, sinister extortion ring with Dr. Markham. She has Diane locked in a padded cell, gaslighting her into thinking she had a mental breakdown. She has Abby and baby Dominic tied up somewhere to torture Ashley. Patty is playing 4D chess with the entire Abbott family. So why drop this bomb on Kyle? Is it a distraction? Is she trying to turn Kyle against Jack and Diane so he won't look? Because if Kyle believes Jack and Diane lied to him, he might just walk away and leave them to Patty's mercy. It is a brilliant, evil, sickeningly smart move, and I kind of have to respect the hustle, even though I hate her for it. I know some people on the forums are loving this. I saw a comment earlier saying, finally, Kyle gets an interesting storyline. And yeah, I get it. Kyle can be a bit boring sometimes, always playing the good son, always defending Jabbo. Giving him a psychotic biological mother definitely spices things up. But personally, I am terrified of what this does to the show's history. We have spent decades investing in the Jack, Diane, Kyle dynamic. We watched Diane return from the dead specifically for Kyle. If all of that was built on a lie, it feels like a slap in the face to longtime viewers. Remember when they tried to rewrite history with the whole Christian isn't Nick's son? Yeah, didn't work then either. Fans hate when you mess with established paternity, unless the payoff is absolutely legendary. So what happens next? Kyle is paralyzed right now, but he's going to have to make a move. Is he going to demand a new DNA test? Is he going to confront Jack? Because Jack is already on the verge of a complete breakdown trying to find Diane and protect Abby. If Kyle storms into the Abbott mansion and screams, "Is Patty Williams my mother?" Jack might actually have a heart attack. And what about Diane? She's sitting in that barred room, looking at Dr. Alan Laron's books, trying to figure out how to escape. Imagine she finally breaks out, fights her way back to Genoa City, only to find out that Kyle hates her because he thinks she stole him from Patty. The drama is going to be insane. I need to take a breath because my heart is racing. I want to know how Dr. Markham fits into this. If Markham is really Martin Laurent with a surgically altered face, which, come on, we all know he is, did he fake the DNA test for Patty? Is he the one who planted this idea in her? Or did he dig up old medical records from the fertility clinic that prove Patty is telling the truth? The layers to this mystery are just blowing my mind. Every time I think I have this show figured out, they throw a curveball that knocks me right out. In conclusion, because I really need to go to sleep before the sun comes up, I am officially obsessed with this storyline, even if it makes me want to pull my hair out. Kyle Abbott's world has just been nuked from orbit. Patty Williams is the most terrifying villain this show has seen in years. And Jack and Diane have some serious explaining to do if they want to keep their family from completely imploding. I am going to be glued to my screen tomorrow. If you guys aren't watching Y&R right now, you are missing out on peak soap opera television. Let me know in the comments if you think Patty is telling the truth or if this is just another one of her psychotic delusions. Until then, I'll be here overanalyzing every single frame of that prison